Welcome to another edition of the Ghost Post. Get ready to dive into the action-packed world of sport. From edge of your seats highlights to in-depth analysis, we got it covered. I'm your host, Oluwamayowa. I'm not alone. I have the usual suspect with me. Timmy, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Lagos, good morning, Nigeria. Good morning in the studio, good morning wherever you're hearing us from. Amazing day, a beautiful weather in the morning. Amazing week of football. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, what a beautiful game. If you're not a fan of football, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know. How do you get your happiness? Because being a football fan is amazing. Yesterday's match, it was really, really enjoyable to watch. So much fun. There was heartbreaks, there was heroics, there was late minute dagger to the chest. There was everything you can think of in football yesterday, and it was so entertaining to watch. God bless Barcelona. God bless Atletico Madrid for giving us. I think if not, it will be the best match this season. We don't know what's going to happen to the remaining of the season, but that's the best match so far this season. Chelsea winning ways again. Everything is packed in, and we are ready to dive into it.
Well, in any case, it's really amazing. I mean, if you watch that particular game, as at the 80th minute, as at the 80th minute of that particular game, you would have expected Barcelona to probably win that particular game. I mean, they were leading 4-2, and they ended up squandering those, 2-goal lead. I mean, you might rightly say that the same thing happened to them. The same thing happened to Atletico Madrid, losing their lead in 3 minutes. And, a whole lot of people might not be happy with that. However, I was catching up the game somewhere yesterday, and a whole lot of people were heartbroken because I know, Nigerians and carrying paper and the rest of that. But, I mean, yeah, what do you make of that particular game? Solot showing up in the 93rd minute and breaking the hearts of Barcelona.
He did it once again. He did it in the league, and he has done it once again. And hopefully, we are hoping he's going to do it in the league once again. It's an amazing football match. And in as much as you say, everybody's blaming Hansi Flick for taking off Pedri, because Pedri controlled the game. Pedri was amazing yesterday. What a baller! What a baller he is yesterday. It was amazing. Again, he had a masterclass performance against Atletico Madrid. But again, you have to give respect to what El Cholo did, the coach of Atletico Madrid, because the substitution they made, so lot everybody there, and the way they played, they can give you a chance. But are you willing to take that chance? We saw how Ferran Torres was missing chances in the first half. He wasn't taking it. So them, they had their chance, and they took it, and it was amazing. 2-2. The second leg is 4-4. The second leg is going to be trailblazing.
Well, in any case, I think probably that will be a preamble to what we are going to see in the Champions League. Remember, Atletico Madrid has been paired with, a Real Madrid side in the Champions League. And, the performance of yesterday is an indication that it seems Atletico is trying to tell everybody that they are no pushover, and, that is what we want to see. But in any case, we love football, and that is what we want to see. But let's shift gears. We probably, still touch on a whole lot of things, a lot of talking points to discuss. There's the Mourinho issue, calling out the referee, calling out the Turkish league and the rest of that. But let's start with the English Premiership. A whole lot of games were played yesterday. We saw Chelsea, take the fourth position, beating Southampton 4-0. Our own Onachu and Joe Aribo played in that particular game, but they couldn't impact that particular game. Chelsea were so dominant in that with their performance. It was from start to finish. It was a day for Chelsea, and it seems maybe they want to solidify their position in the fourth place. Chelsea delivered the dominant 4-0 performance against Southampton with goals from Christopher Nkunku, Pedro Neto, Liverpool, and Marc Cucurella. This win elevated Chelsea to fourth place, bolstering their Champions League aspiration. What do you make of that particular match? Nkunku has not been firing on lost cylinder, but he came in yesterday and he was gone blazing.
It's because it's against Southampton. It's just like when you meet I don't know how to explain this. Just imagine an Anthony Joshua being beat by Dubois, um, all these guys over there fighting professionally, and a local fighter here in and later Anthony Joshua meet a local fighter here in Nigeria. What will happen? The Anthony Joshua will beat that local fighter to be so bad. So that's exactly what happened. Everybody has been battling Chelsea, beating Chelsea. So Chelsea meets someone they can really beat, someone they can flog very well, and that was already yesterday. There was no Everybody knew Chelsea was going to win yesterday. It was so obvious because Southampton are like the worst team in the league. Um, Nowhere near the Southampton of the olden days. Um, it's really a shame what has happened to their club. They could not even do anything. They could not answer Chelsea at all. And this is a Chelsea side that is struggling, beating them 4-0. It was an amazing match to watch. Chelsea fourth position. They are just a tenants there. They are going to drop beyond fourth position because obviously they can't maintain it. They cannot stay there. There's a City coming up. There's all these things lurking around them, and I don't see them being in the top four at the end of the season.
So I mean, there's a Liverpool in first position. There's Arsenal that follows them. There's a Nottingham Forest, and there's also a Chelsea in the fourth position. Um, let's go back to the players that played yesterday. Do you think Ikuku should be given more opportunities to be able to play? I mean, it was fantastic yesterday. Caicedo also was very instrumental in how in the display of Chelsea. There is also a particular Jorgensen who made the mistake in the last game, and it seems he has put that behind him.
See, anybody can perform well against Southampton. As I said, Southampton are one of the is the worst team in the league. So anybody can perform well against Southampton. I'm not going to judge their performances against Southampton. No, let's see what they do in their next match when they face a bit decent opponent. Let's see what they do. Obviously, they are going to face a lower team again in the Conference League, so they will be winning that. But when they come back to the Premier League and face someone that is a team that is a bit decent, then we will know if they are actually bad. Same thing Man City did against forgotten the team now when they won 4-0 Newcastle. We all knew that Newcastle is not consistent. So you can't use Newcastle to judge what City can do. And we see what when City went to the Real Madrid side that is not even firing in all cylinders. We saw what happened. So it's the same thing with Chelsea. Chelsea are struggling. Yesterday's result cannot change that fact that they are struggling. Even Kopama was posting it on the stories that don't worry, I'll be back. Kopama, every Chelsea fans, I remember always doing this. But this season he's been so hot. I don't know, it's not cold anymore. Kopama has come hot, and Chelsea are not performing. I don't see them in the top four, and that's just it.
Okay, so I mean, even with that performance, you don't think they will make top four?
No, they won't now. It's not about just yesterday's performance. It's about consistency. Can they do it 4-5 match on the spin? No, I don't think so.
But the question has always been, I mean, I think the priority for Enzo Maresca, there were reports that the fans were planning to protest yesterday.
They
Um,
did.
yeah, I know they did. And before that protest started, Enzo Maresca came out, to modify the earlier statement he made as regards they are not competing for the league, and he was talking about top four and the rest of that. Don't you think, because of the protest and because of the pressure that is, because of the pressure that is mounting on him, don't you think that would be, something that would trigger him, that would trigger the team to be able to cement their fourth position?
Um, in a football season, every team that has done well, something has changed. Maybe beginning of the season, the middle of the season, something have changed. No matter how you look at it, something will change. A little thing will change, and that will determine how that team's success will be. So whatever I can say, the protest and the way Chelsea fans have been reading and everything, it might actually tweak something in their bloodstream, and they will be so angry, and they will go all out on the pitch to perform. Whatever I can say, but all I know is they are not performing well. Teams in the Premier League are not joking. Even a small team now, a small team wants to beat you. A small team wants to battle you. It's not like the Premier League of the olden days where it's already written that next match it's a hard, but don't worry, we'll win. It's not like that anymore. And Chelsea are not careful. They'll be dropping into the Europa spot.
Well, that's interesting. Let's go to another team, that has been the hallmark of inconsistency this season. One of the few things that a lot of people have said about an Aston Villa side is the fact that in the EPL they have not been consistent. The results, have not been turning out the way you expect them to turn out. I mean, this is the same Aston Villa that were able to dispatch Chelsea over the weekend. However, they were playing a Crystal Palace, and it seems they couldn't get the rhythm. Crystal Palace putting four past, Aston Villa, was something, is something surprising that a whole lot of people would not see. Crystal Palace overwhelmed Aston Villa with a 4-1 triumph. Ismail Assar netting twice in the 29th and in the 71st minute, while Mateta scored in the 59th and Eddie Nketiah scored in the dying minutes of the game. This result dented Villa's Europe ambition and highlighted Crystal Palace attacking might. What do you make of this particular game? Owing to the fact that it seems Aston Villa seems to be blowing hot and cold. You never know what you get, from an Aston Villa side. And also, if you look at the table, from the fourth position to the 10th position, the difference is just 5 points. I mean, anybody between fourth and 10th can probably make it to top four if the teams ahead of them do not do well. So, what do you make of this particular game, and what do you make of the inconsistency of Aston Villa in the last 26 games?
That's the problem of Aston Villa. I feel that's the reason why they brought in Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio. But unfortunately, they went up against a Crystal Palace team that is so crazy at home. They have a very crazy form at home. They hardly lose this season. This season, apart from Arsenal, that just lost their first match at home against West Ham at the weekend. The best home record this season has been Crystal Palace at home. Their stadium is a fortress. You know when you are going there, you're scared. So Crystal Palace is that kind of a thing. So I was telling someone yesterday, and the person was riding on the fact that Aston Villa won Chelsea, and I was saying the person is, of course, he wanted to stake some money on some teams, and I practically give him my advice. Crystal Palace at home, they are another animal. Please don't go there. I just spoke to him this morning. I hope he listens. If he had gone there, then he will lose his money, obviously, because I saw it coming. I wasn't going to blame Aston Villa, in as much as Aston Villa is fluctuating, not really performing very well. But the team they went to meet, they are like a fortress in their home. We all know what they do when the old Mateta and everybody and Sa, everybody's in form trying to get it go. And of course, the two guys I mentioned was the exact two guys I told the person that these guys are going to score. Just be careful. Just leave out this game. It's a game you don't know where to swing, and truly you don't know where to swing. And exactly, it's the two guys that scored.
Well, that's interesting. Do you think, you know, like we established earlier, the point gap between the fourth and the 10th position is about 5 points, and there is a possibility that any of those teams could still make it into the top four. Since it seems all the teams from 10th to 4th, they are inconsistent in terms of what you get from them on any particular match week. Do you think with the inclusion of Asensio and Marcus Rashford, do you think Aston Villa will be able to turn things around? Also, don't you think there is a need for Unai Emery to begin to start these guys rather than putting them on the bench?
I just feel he wants them to get integrated more into the season. into the Aston Villa system, and I like what he's doing. Put them on the bench. Don't anger the players that are there already. Now, if a Marcus Rashford starts in the next match, what's this guy's name that is taking his spots now in the team? Is it Jacob Murphy? I think
No,
it's Murphy.
no, Jacob Murphy is with Newcastle. The only person is competing will probably be Whitkin or Oli Wickens.
No, not Watkins. Not Watkins. The guy that plays on the left wing for Aston Villa is Murphy now. The guy
Uh,
that does Morgan, is it Morgan Rogers? I forgot his name now. The guy that does
no, Jacob Murphy plays for Newcastle, not Aston Villa.
no, the guy that does the Kopama celebration in Aston Villa.
I can't really remember his name,
I can't remember his name.
but it's not Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, I know it's not Jacob Murphy. I just mixed up in my head. So the guy is it Rogers or something? So once the guy drops to the bench, I don't think he's going to complain because obviously you know that this guy is there, and once he comes in, the team performs much more better. Same thing with Marco Asensio. I think the two of them are going to be pivotal in the Champions League. The way they will play, the way they will link up play, and Aston Villa might just go the big fire in the Champions League that people imagine them to go. And again, the Champions League spot in the Premier League is wide open. Anything can happen. Man City Tottenham are playing next. I don't see Man City beating Tottenham. I
That
don't
that
see it. I don't see it. Newcastle also is playing. Newcastle someone is playing. I don't think Newcastle are going to win also. So everything is just jam packed. And even the United, if the United should have strings of runs, we might end up being in the mix. But it's not going to.
probably maybe United will probably get an opportunity to play in the Europa League. Who knows? I mean, you can't say there is about 10 games to go, and results can turn around and things can turn around. But in any case, let's move over to another game that's very interesting. There's an Aston Villa. There's a Fulham side that were able to go past a Wolves side. Two early goals decided that particular game. There was an early goal in the first half, and also there was an early goal in the second half, and those two goals were responsible for the victory for Fulham. Fulham winning 2-1 at the Molineux, going away to Wolves and dispatching Wolves. Everybody, Wolves has been struggling in terms of their performance, and it seems they can hardly put together a string of wins. Fulham edged out Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-1 thanks to early goals in each half from Ryan Sessegnon and Rodriguez Muniz. João Gomes had equalized for Wolves, but Fulham resilience secured them crucial points in their pursuit, for European football. What do you make of that particular game?
Honestly, we all know that Fulham was going to win. That's the problem. That's why I said Man United are not going to relegate. We are not going. We are not. We are just saying Man United are in relegation battle because we want to banter. The problem is the teams below them are not doing anything. You could see Southampton have lost. Um, Wolves. So you see, the teams are at the lower of the table, at the lower bottom of the table. They're not they're not really doing anything, and that's the reason why United are going to scale through, and obviously I'm also an Everton and the rest of guys down in the relegation battle. So now for the game itself, once again, I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know, they can't even do anything. Um, Apart from the Brazilian guy, um, Matheus Cunha, nobody else is doing anything. That guy is not firing. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening in Wolves. For me again, I love what they do. I think they are 2 points behind Man City now,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, and they are up there in the Champions League fight and trying to get some things. And nobody knows what will happen. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. The only certain place in the Champions League right now It's just Liverpool and Arsenal. From Nottingham Forest down to 10th, anything can happen.
Okay, and that's fantastic. But with the performance of Fulham, do you think they make it to the Champions League or probably maybe Europe at the end of the day?
Obviously, let's be frank. Fulham are going to make it to the Champions League because this thing is consistency. That's the problem. The problem is consistency. The reason why everyone is still leaning towards Man City making it is because we know Man City can be consistent. We know Man City can be consistent. Apart from all these hard games they are facing now, Tottenham and all these guys, I think after Tottenham now, everything comes down a bit, and they start facing teams that are not so high. And you will see what will happen. They will try to string up some wins, and once they do 2, 3, 4 games on a bounce, they are comfortable.
Well, I mean, we have about 11 games to go, and you just need to string about 6 games. You just need to do well. You just need to do well in about 6 games, and before you know it, you are already fighting for a spot. In Europe, and to be honest with you, a whole lot of people would have felt that um, this is the right time for a Fulham to punch above their weight, since all the top teams are not performing to standard. I mean, there's a particular Newcastle that is not consistent. You know what you get. There's a Bournemouth which seems they are beginning to get tired. I mean, Bournemouth also played yesterday, and their performance yesterday was shocking. They lost yesterday again, and this will be the fact that they are continuing to lose. Brighton, on their own part, they've won 7 in the last 9. I mean, there's a particular Welbeck who is not slowing down. Welbeck is as old as Mohamed Salah, and he continues to bang in the goals. Brighton were able to dispatch Bournemouth yesterday. It seems fatigue is beginning to catch up with Bournemouth with the kind of performance they are putting in. They've been losing games in the last 4 games. They've hardly had any joy, and that should be a source of concern for the coach of Bournemouth. Brighton secured a 2-1 win over Bournemouth. João Pedro opened the scoring in the 12th minute. In the 12th minute with a penalty, while despite Justin Kluivert's equalizer in the 2nd minute, Dan Welbeck's 75th minute goal ensured Brighton's victory. What do you make of that particular game? Welbeck continues to score. Bournemouth struggling in their games.
It's normal. It's bound to happen sometimes. You don't win everything. Bournemouth has overachieved this season. In my own books, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, both of them especially have overachieved. If you look at where they are last season, where they are from, and the things they've been doing, again they lost yesterday. It's at the point in the season they were losing every match. They were losing every match back to back, and in the last 8 or 9 games, they found their feet again, and they are playing amazingly well. Welbeck, that's the whereby United started. That Welbeck, because that was a player that Luis Van Gaal should have let go, should have kept him at United. I don't know what he was thinking, letting him go. At the end of the day, yeah, for the future and everything. If you look at it critically, a Danny Welbeck is top 5 strikers in the league right now. I mean, top 5 or 10, top 10 strikers. My United strikers are not top 10 strikers, so why not even get Welbeck to come and do the job for
But the question is, do you think
us? Just my own weeks, and but it's an amazing match and good win for Brighton.
do you think Manchester United should consider a Welbeck, owing to the fact that
Yes,
there has
before
been
now,
issues in terms of strikers. There is no Hoyland is not doing it. Yes, a Joshua Sexy is showing some signs, but Hoyland seems to be out of it. You let Rashford go. whereas you have a suitable replacement for him.
That's what I'm saying. Before now, should have think of getting the same way Man United got Johnny Evans to come and be around and just get someone like Wilbeck. All fine, Wilbeck could have been there doing something. The Spaghetti is not a striker. Have you seen him play? The guy caresses the ball and just he gives you a vibe of the game and the way he touches the ball, his touches are amazing. I love how he plays, but he's not a killer. He's not that striker that will kill you, that will punish you. He's not. And Oiland that should have been is nowhere to be found. I don't know. I think he's going to leave United the next season. I don't know.
So
I don't
you
know because
you don't see Oiland in Manchester United next season.
I don't see him because there will be a whole lot of players going next season. A whole lot.
So what would you think leaves Manchester United?
Next season. Obviously, Malaysia leaves. He's on loan right now, but I think he's permanently. Paul leaves. Evans leaves. Lindelof leaves. Maguire stays. Euro stays. Ugarte stays. Casemiro. That chunk of players that's going to leave next season. Who again? I think Anthony will leave permanently. I think Rashford leaves. I think Mount leaves. There are so many players that are going to go. So many players that will leave. Man United is running a charity organization where they are just paying players for doing nothing. It's so sad.
Okay, that's interesting. So I wanted to find out. There has been this news piece about Arteta saying he's still in the title race. That over his dead body will he give up the title race? Do you think that's just Arteta trying to gaslight, Arsenal, or he's just trying to motivate his boys to be able to do more?
It's just simply delusional. That's a statement of someone that doesn't know what he's doing. You had all the chances in the transfer window to go get a striker. You did not. You kept on using Havertz and everything. And before the transfer window, everybody was saying Arsenal needs a striker. And this week they will falter, they won't do anything. Next week they will win 5-1. You will hear them say, where's the people that say we need a striker? Now that's the problem. That's the problem we are having now. They have a captain that keeps on hiding. Other guys keeps on hiding. When it matters most, you will not see other guys. He will hide. He will not be there. Those things should not be happening. In a striker, imagine starting Merino as a striker. It's so shameful for us now. And I don't know. Him saying he's still in the title race, I think Arsenal fans should actually call for his sack because you've been there for how many years? What have you won for them? You won one FACup, and the what's the guy's name now? I think Unai Emery took them to the final, took them to the semi-final actually. You took them to the final and win the FACup. I think he has only won one FACup since he's been there. They won Community Shield. That's all. For 5 years, maybe 6 years, and you spend that amount of money. Come on paper, the ad is better than Mikel Arteta because he won more trophies. So I don't know. Arteta is a fraud. I think he should go.
That's interesting. Let's move on to today's games. Liverpool will be taking on Newcastle. Um, this is a Newcastle side that struggled against Nottingham Forest and they ended up winning 4-3. At a particular point in time, they were leading and they ended up, squandering their lead. They went 4 goals ahead and they ended up squandering that lead. And they even struggled to be able to hold on, to victory. A whole lot of people have said the tail end of the season might be a bit too difficult for the likes of Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest to handle because at the moment it seems they are beginning to lose steam. Liverpool hosts Newcastle United at Anfield, aiming to close the gap at the league leaders. On the league leaders, a win is crucial for maintaining their title aspiration. That is, Liverpool. I mean, if Liverpool wins, that puts a lot more distance between them and Arsenal. What do you make of that particular game, owing to the fact that Newcastle has been inconsistent?
Newcastle has been inconsistent again. When Newcastle faced a big team, they've actually performed. Last time the big team, obviously, they were beating them. They are facing Liverpool side that is firing. A Liverpool side also that is preparing for Champions League football. Um, the coming week, so they are going to try and prepare for. Um,
You were saying something. Sorry.
yeah, I said everybody what the Nottingham Forest can do this, Nottingham Forest can do that, and Newcastle practically blew them out of the gutters. Of course, they almost equalized 4-2, 4-3, but Newcastle almost won the game. And Nottingham Forest almost equalized the game, but Newcastle won. And those are the things. Newcastle winning against Nottingham Forest is applaudable. Now, do it consistently. Do it against Liverpool. It will be a problem. So I see Liverpool winning.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, another team that is playing, that probably is one of the biggest game apart from the Newcastle, Newcastle Liverpool game. I think it's a game between Tottenham Hotspur and Man City. The first leg ended 4-0 in favor of Tottenham Hotspur. A lot of people might have said that's the period where Man City were going through a lot, and that's the reason why Tottenham was able to dispatch them with ease, dispatching them 4-0. But right now, it seems Tottenham themselves, yes, they won over an Ipswich, a relegation threat in the Ipswich side over the weekend. And I mean, like you've consistently said, sometimes when this inconsistent team meets teams that they should beat, we shouldn't expect a whole lot and think probably maybe they've been able to turn things around. It might be a bit dicey for them. Both teams are fighting for a place, in Europe. Like I said, remember, from the 4th to the 10th position is just about 5 points. Tottenham Hotspur currently sits 11th, and that's an opportunity for them to currently sit 12th rather. And if they continue to do well, they might find themselves, in European places, owing to the fact that the point gap between 4th and 10th is not that much. Tottenham Hotspur faces Man City in a high-stake match. Both teams are vying for an European spot, making this encounter very pivotal. What do you think of this? What do you make of this particular game? Owing to the fact that Tottenham is trying to chase a spot in Europe, while Man City is trying to cement their place in the Champions League.
Again, when Tottenham won the first leg, Tottenham themselves they were not performing well. Maybe that's one thing we should remember. I went to the first leg for 4-0. Tottenham was not performing very well. They were not consistent. This was the same way Tottenham was. So everybody was giving Man City a chance because obviously Tottenham was consistent and Tottenham blew them out. I think the same thing might happen again. This City team, they are scared. They are scared, and sometimes it's like they have even accepted defeat before the kick of the ball. I don't know if Haaland is back. If Haaland is back, it's going to be a great push for him. I don't know where to call it because the two teams are not consistent. But if I will pick a side, I will make it towards Tottenham because Tottenham wants it more. If you are not going to be consistent, don't be consistent. But losing so many games on a stretch is that's not consistency. That's just practically loss of form, and that's what has happened to Man City.
Okay, that's fantastic. Let's go to the relegation battle side. They are playing their fellow relegation battlers. Manchester United is facing off against Ipswich. Ipswich is sitting down on the 19th spot, ahead of a Southampton side that has been horrible in the EPL. Manchester United seems to be stuck in the 14th position. Ipswich seems to be stuck in the 19th position. This is a match that probably, if Manchester United plays well, it might probably get them closer to the mid-table because of the point gap. But what do you make of this particular game? Owing to the fact that United has been struggling with their performance, and there was a news article that Amorim blamed, the recent cut, job losses, cuts in, in what Manchester United is doing on the players, practically saying that the players are at fault for what is going on with Manchester United at the moment.
That shows that a failure as a person if you always blame others and yourself. Fine, you can apportion players, blame the players. Yes, we have to be concrete about that. The players should own 80% of the blame, but you are the coach, you set up the team. You should be able to accept 20% of the blame. You practically went to buy the left wing back and you put him at the right hand side. That's your mistake. Against Leicester, that's what you did. You buy Doku from Lecce in Italy, and it was left wing back. We have all been clamoring for a left wing back because that's not playing there. And that's not his natural position. You bought him and you decide to play him on the right. What are you doing as a coach? So many times you make horrendous decisions you shouldn't have. So you can't just blame the players. That shows the kind of person you are. If you don't take things in life, you have to take a bit of criticism yourself. When you analyze situations, you have to take blame for yourself for the things you have done, for the things going one sided, for the things not going unfair. You have to check the situation very well. Then you apportion some blame to yourself also, because that's life. You can't just say the players are to be blamed. Yes, the players are to be blamed. 100%. I'm not arguing with that. But the fact is, you as a person needs to apportion some blames to yourself because you set up the team. You are the one setting up the team. If that situation could have been dealt with better, could have been dealt with better, only to the fact that we don't have players firing us in us. We don't have a big squad. We have an injury squad, and you are fighting with a player. There are some things that you shouldn't do. Fine, Rashford is not performing. Fine, we know Rashford is. We know as Rashford is doing, so are so many other players in the United team. But you shouldn't have done that. And he can't be pushing blames to the players. He needs to take responsibility for his own actions also.
But the question is, Anthony left Manchester United. Anthony is happy in Real Betis.
He
Malacia
had the
left.
record.
Yes, I know. Yeah. It was unfortunate that he had the red card, and if you look at that tackle, I don't think he should have been given the red card. But in any case, that is the La Liga. Malacia left, is performing very well. Don't you think the issue? Rashford also left. He has been involved in many assists for Aston Villa. Yes, they lost yesterday, which is normal. But don't you think there's an issue with the man management style of Amorim that makes player, leave Manchester United and they go out and they start performing?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Man management. It's not just. The problem is not just with Amorim. It has been with Ten Hag also. You can see where Sancho left. Sancho was balling. And that's the problem of United. I think so many things are going on behind closed doors. Players leaking things are happening in the dressing room to the media. So many things are going on behind closed doors. That's why I said so many players need to leave. There needs to be a new breath of fresh air in the around the squad, in the dressing room. So many things need to change for United to move forward. United right now is a mess.
Okay, that's fantastic. Let's close out with the controversial one. A whole lot of people have said Mourinho is very controversial, and he has taken his controversy to Turkey. Galatasaray and Fenerbahce played over the weekend. A foreign referee from Maribor, a referee from Sweden, came to officiate that particular game. They have a whole lot of referees in Turkey. None of them, was found worthy enough to officiate that match. The owner of Fenerbahce is also the owner of Hull City in England, and he has come out to defend Mourinho. That it seems Mourinho is right. Yes, I don't agree with the fact that Mourinho used the term monkey to describe how they were jumping. But a lot of people have come to his defense in terms of the officiating that seems to want to favor one side. Remember, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Galatasaray was playing with, I think, Adanispor or something like that. After a penalty was given, they practically walked off in that particular game. Do you think there's any truth in what Mourinho is saying? Mourinho has been complaining about the officiating, and it seems to be gaining traction.
Of course. We all know Mourinho is not a racist. One of the best coaches in the world that has really worked with black players is Jose Mourinho. We all know that he loved black players. He loved black players a lot, and we all know. Essien is fondly called Mourinho's son when he was at Chelsea. We all know he loves black players, so definitely Mourinho is not a racist. We all know that, and if he's complaining about the refereeing, day in day out, and with the situation of what happened, between Galatasaray and Spurs, where the penalty was given and the other team just walked off the pitch. We will all see that Turkey is before now. We know that when they are saying match fixing and all these things, it's synonymous with Turkey. We know. There was a certain time Minike was involved when he was at Fenerbahce. I think he was involved in match fixing, whatever. I don't know how that found out. He was found not guilty, but I don't know, behind every story is a little iota of truth in it. So, and we could all see we could all see how the officiating has been. If the officiating is good, I don't think the Mourinho's opinions and words will be getting traction from people, and everybody will be seeing it. So I think the thing to be looked at. Mourinho is being investigated for racism. I think it's going to be thrown out. Everybody knows Mourinho is not a racist, and that's it.
So, but the question now is this: Mourinho is the valid point. Galatasaray has played 6 games in Europe. They have 0 victory. They've not won any game in Europe. 6 games in Europe, 0 victory. But when it comes to the Turkish league, they are always winning. A whole lot of controversial call, a whole lot of unnecessary added time, and the rest of that. Do you think Galatasaray needs to be investigated, or the referee needs to be investigated? And this is not the first time this issue has been raised. The issue has been raised a whole lot of time, but it seems they usually dismiss it as something that is not, that is not viable. What do you think should be done?
Yeah, the whole issue now is getting much more in the open because of Mourinho's presence and influence. If it's another coach that is at, just imagine it's only talking about it. Nobody will really pay so much attention. But because it's Mourinho saying it, somebody is okay. I think this guy might be right, because truly, Galatasaray has not won any match in Europe for months. I think they are even out of the Europa already.
Yes, they're out.
Is it that map battered them?
True.
So in the Europe, there's no mago. There's no how you can influence decision. But right in the league, and it's rightfully so. It's rightfully so, because you could see the officiating and everything like that. Mourinho raised the valid points. Of course, again, the racism part will be thrown off. His points will be definitely looked at. But I think this season is done. The Galatasaray has won the league.
Okay, that's always fantastic. In any case, it's always amazing having you here. We look forward to having discussion about the FA Cup. It's an FA Cup weekend. A whole lot of teams are playing in the FA Cup. It seems your team is also still in the FA Cup, and probably maybe it might be a saving grace for Amorim this season. But in any case, it's always amazing having you here. Thank you so much. It's always amazing having you here. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Wednesday ahead of you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.